How are we doing there, girls? You all alright? How about you? Yeah? Okay, anyway, I can't stop. I'm picking plums. I was going to get these plums picked yesterday because I want to start making some wine with them. I didn't get a chance in the end. But I'm getting myself a good few kilos at the moment. There you go, Chris, all mowed, all done, while you lot have all probably got COVID. Hope Brad's doing alright. Right, got this plum tree over here. I don't even know exactly who it belongs to. I was just told by Alan that we've got the go-ahead to help ourselves. So I'm getting myself enough to make some free booze. A lot of them are a bit past it, to be honest, but on the shadier side of the tree, it's this big tree here behind the shed. On the shadier side of the tree, there's some good eating. Well, good brewing. Can you see them all on the camera, or is it too silhouetted? There you go, look, there's loads of them. A lot of them are rotting. There you go, look, there's an example. A lot of them are rotting, but at the same time there are plenty of others that are perfectly usable. And while we're here, let me just show you. Hello, you lot. This is Alan's son's plot. He's got a proper little zoo going on. He's got Rhode Island Reds. He's got some little, I think that's a Brahma. And a chick as well. A little Brahma and a chick. A few ducks. What else has he got in the way of birds? There we go, there's more quite sort of fancy chickens down there. And he's got rabbits too. Be quiet. He's got rabbits over there as well. So he's got a proper little zoo going on. Whack, 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 whack. Now I know Alan only keeps animals if he's going to eat them. I think these are probably more along the lines of pets. Right, so there's about 1 kilo of plums in there. They're not overripe, you know. They're all right on the good side of the tree. We'll get some good wine out of them. I'm just going to fill up one more bag. So I want 2 to 3 kilos. I'll take them home and get brewing. At a guess, I reckon I've actually got probably about 4 kilos there, so I've got more than enough for making wine. And I'm beginning to wonder if these are actually damsons, because they're very small and they're very late in the season. Makes me wonder if they're damsons rather than plums. But either way, they're sweet and juicy as anything. They are absolutely lovely, and with a sugar content like that, they should make a pretty decent wine. What I'm going to do is, when I get them home, I'm going to stew them all down a little bit, just enough to break the flesh away from the stones, and then I can fish all the stones out of the pan. Because if you let stones and seeds and pips and things get into your brew, it can make them taste a bit bitter. So I'll break them down a bit in the pan, fish all the stones out, and that'll also sterilise them, because they've just come off a tree with a lot of mouldy ones on there. Now some of that is going to be good natural yeast, which will only add to the flavour in the brew, but some of it is going to be bad stuff that will just turn it into vinegar or penicillin or whatever, you know. So I'm going to get those home, and I might show you the result later once I've got it all cooked down and set into a fermentation vessel. Okay, well, it actually turns out I've got 5.5 kilos. So we'll make some wine, and I'll also stick some in the freezer, and another day I'll also make jam. There you go, half stewed in a large pan. You don't actually cook them down like you were making a crumble or something, just stew them enough to loosen them up, and then you can lift them out one by one, give them a little squeeze, and the stones just slip straight out. Of course, stewing them like that sterilises it all as well. And then this is all waiting, sterilising, ready to start the brew. Right, so there's all the plums, stones removed, sterilised. Everything here I'm using is sterilised. The tub has got a little stick-on thermometer on the side. We're actually above, we're out of the range at the moment, we're above 32 degrees, which is why it's not showing anything. But if I were adding the yeast now, I'd wait until that got down to about 20 degrees before adding the yeast. As it is, I've actually added, although everything's sterilised and the fruit is boiled, I'm very mindful of the fact that there was a lot of mouldy fruit on that tree. So I've added a couple of these Campden tablets, they're sterilising tablets. I've mixed those into the fruit. So I'm now going to let that sit for 24 hours. And that should kill off anything nasty. Obviously I don't want to add the yeast at this stage, because the Campden tablets would kill the yeast. I want to let that sit for 24 hours, make sure everything in there is absolutely sterile and ready to go. And then tomorrow, maybe even possibly the day after, then I'll add the yeast. We'll make sure that we're at the right temperature, and once I've done that we'll leave it for about a week hopefully. It's not too cold yet, it's mild enough. A week, maybe 2 at the most, to let it do its fermentation. And once that's done we can start racking it off, filtering it, putting it in bottles. So we'll be back to this in a week or so and see how it's doing. One last thing, obviously once you start brewing in here it's going to be producing CO2 which needs to escape. When I'm doing beer I'll do it in proper equipment with air traps. When I'm doing country wines and fruit wines I'll just use a tub, I'll drill a hole in it and I'll put a sterile breathable sticking plaster over the hole. Job done.